StiffNet Studios World Headquarters in Spring, Texas. It's Barry on Deck, hosted by former ESPN Houston radio host and stand-up comedian Barry Laminack, starring Oliver the Cat. Written by Barry Laminack, produced by Barry Laminack, directed by, you guessed it, Barry Laminack. Featuring sports, entertainment, special guests, film sessions, and some drinking. Okay, a lot of drinking. Viewer discretion is advised. And now, here's your host, Barry.
What's up, you damn dirty jerkheads? It's time for the PC to slow down. Welcome to Barry on Deck. I'm your host, Barry Laminack. Why's my lips and face so red right there? Welcome to the show, episode 1015, Tuesday, December 9, blah, 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 blah. What's up? Hey, how you doing? Good to see you, dirty bitches. Thank you for being here. Hope you're doing well. Hope this computer holds up. It's acting like an asshole. CC, that's hilarious. Oh boy, that's not what we wanted. Once again, we forgot to update. There we go. Hello, dickholes. I'm copying Tony's negativity, and I hate it. CC, I just gotta say, I'm just waiting on Denver Broncos scores. I'm just like, oh, is this the week? Nope. I feel terrible for you and Total Dallas. You've got to be hating life so much right now. Total Dallas said, who's hating? That's my thing. No, getting hated on is your thing, Total Dallas. You're not really a hater per se. I mean, you hate Houston stuff. Cece said, you and the rest of my friends who follow me on social media. Yeah. First of all, shout out to Carolina Sanchez and everybody at the Nightcap for having me out yesterday to record another episode. The topic was holiday stories, funny, crazy, emotional, and I forget the other description, touching or some shit. Holiday stories. You know, my holiday stories weren't touching. That's for damn show. But we had a good time on the show. I shared a lot of insight about my family, specifically my crazy grandmother, God rest her soul. Worst gift giver I've ever met. One of the worst on the planet. I'd put her up against anybody. She may not win, but she'll place. You know what I mean? She's going to be on the podium. So yeah, but it was fun. We had a good time. I don't know exactly when the episode is going to air yet. Probably this week, maybe next. I don't know. I had a good time. So that's why we had no show yesterday. Taping started at 3. We wrapped about 5:30. And then I headed to the Punchline and did the workshop, comedy workshop that I teach there, and the open mic. So, fun times yesterday. It was good to, though. I did the open mic, did some new shit that I'm working on, and then came home because, man, I hadn't seen my wife. It felt like it forever. And I was just gone 2 days. So, yeah, it's good to be home. Now, I will say, let me preface this by saying that today, we may or may not make a whole show. Why, you ask? Well, sparing you the graphic details, let's just say Daddy's tummy's a little upset. And you never know. I just might be sitting here like, yeah, and I think in the playoff. And that would be the end of it. All right. So I refuse to shit my pants on stream. I mean, if I did, I wouldn't tell you. I mean, you might see me go, oh. But that's just because I trusted that fart. So, excuse me. I'm over here. I've got to talk to my employee real quick, which would be ChatGPT. It's coming up with a marketing plan for the Dallas show. I'm just bang it all out over there. Now, let's say what's up to everybody in the chat before we get into this little raggedy ass show. Let's see who we got. Yeah, we got to save all that. Okay. We have joining us, I saw my sweet Donna first on the YouTubes, as she usually is. It's either her, AJB, or Total Dallas that makes it in. One of those three are usually first on the YouTube. So hello to my sweet Donna. I mean, not so sweet anymore because she knocked me out of the playoffs in the Barry on Deck Fantasy League, but, you know, you live and learn. What up to Alex Villanueva? He said, let's talk about Swarm. He said, do you believe now? And he's driving and lurking. Yeah, we're going to talk about the Texans. Don't you worry. What up to Tony? He said, afternoon, nutsacks. That's where CC jumped in and called everybody a dickhole. Total Dallas is on YouTube. What's up, Pimpin'? Cisco is in from Fredericksburg. What else we got? Heartthrob. What's up, Pimpin'? Good to see you, Rob. Heartthrob's in the building. Nightbot, that raggedy bitch is here. Who else? Mark G's in the building. What up, homie? And there's my CC. Hello, girl. Who else? Total Dallas, Mark, Cisco. Joe, Alec. What's up, pimp? Alec, every time I see the Bucks play, I just get sad for you. Also, and we'll get into this here in a second when we get to championship week and all that stuff and the playoffs. Alec, you gotta kind of be thinking, you know, I think people might be sleeping on Oregon. They're kind of overlooked right now. Nobody's talking about Oregon, right? Also, nobody's talking about A&M. We'll see. Who else is here? CC, I got. Daddy was off yesterday. Daddy better wear a diaper. Hey, what up, Jeff Bell? Good to see you, pimp. Let's see. Who else? Jen, what's up, Jen? Good to have you. Thank you for being here. I think I got everybody. That's at least sent a chat message. I'm sure there's more than that watching. Well, not a whole lot more. But, yeah, thank you one and all for being here. Now you know what the game plan is, and that is basically make it through this show without messing my pants. We got headlines, tons of college football to talk about. I have a video too from basketball, from the NBA, that I want to show you, which I thought was kind of hilarious, but it's also like, this dude's a dick. So we'll talk about that. Like I said, we'll get into our sports headlines and a whole lot of whatnot. Now, I have a non-sports topic, but I kind of want to save it just to break up the monotony of the sports. So, yes, as you should, Throb is right. She said, in Jen we trust. There was nobody else I would trust more. So, let's do this. Let's get into our headlines, and we'll go from there. Yeah? You go with that? I don't give a fuck, because that's what we're doing. Suck it.
Heck yeah!
All right, here's your sports headlines for the day. Hold on, next. You probably know this already. Joe Bro! Thank you for resubscribing for 21 months for 37 months, sir. You're the man, Joe Pro. Thank you, Bubba. Just said, BRB, gotta go get them kids from school. Man, fuck them kids. Just leave them in school. I'm sure you know this already, but The Colts lost Daniel Jones for the season. He blew out his ACL. Let's see. What all did they say? Let's see. Daniel Jones injury. Yeah, you know it was bad. Achilles tear. Yeah. So because of that, obviously everybody's like, well, there goes their season. They're done. And rightfully so. I mean, look, they were struggling as of late with Daniel Jones in the mix. And of course their backups hurt and the suck and all that. And nobody wants to try to make the playoffs, much less win in the playoffs. Save for maybe the Texans. We'll talk about it. But yeah, you felt bad. And look, some of you are going to be like, I don't give a fuck. I don't feel bad. Well, you should. Don't be a crazy person. Okay. I got to raise my chair up here a little bit. I don't even know how to do it in this fucking chair. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Okay. That was too much. God damn it. Don't be that person. I'm glad he's hurt. Fuck the Colts. That's silly talk. That's not mature. That's pretty shitty, actually. I do feel bad for the Colts. I feel bad for Colts fans. It sucks when you have all the hope in the world through the first half of the season. Then the wheels start to come off a little bit, and you're like, well, they can still right the ship. And then that happens. And you just have to be devastated as a Colts fan. But Phillip Rivers has decided to unretire and sign with the Colts. And he has. Yesterday, he was just thinking about it. Hello, Donna. Yesterday, he was just thinking about it. Yo, BOD now playing on the Winebox Boombox. Hell yes! That's dope, dude. That thing was really cool that you made, by the way. Rivers has to go get the kids from school, too. That's not... Shut up. I hate you. I hate you. But it's... He retired in 2020, 17th season. And now he's coming back. It's like, yo, this... Really? You've been off for 4+ years? Yes, he has. In fact, his, let's see, stats show 2020 was his last season. He played in 16 games. It was for the Colts. 4,169 yards and 24 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Really good in that regard. The 4,100 yards was good. Let's see, what else? He had a QBR of 55 and a rating of 56. That's not great. But yeah, look, hey, he had a 68% completion percentage, which is about on par with what he's done over his career. This, though, it gives you a glimmer of hope as a Colts fan. Is Phillip Rivers going to win them a Super Bowl? No. Probably not. Probably not even, maybe good for one first round win. Yeah, to Dallas. Thank you for the super chat. I told him, I said, I got to read his shit because sometimes I've just got to process the ickiness of his joke. But he said, get hit blindside by Will Anderson or stay home and watch Bluey again. I'm back, baby. That's how bad Bluey sucks. I've never seen Bluey. I have no idea. I thought that was porn the first time I heard the name. They were like, Bluey. I was like, well, I usually just watch straight porn, but he's only on the practice squad right now, Donna says. Yeah, so here was the particulars around it. let's see that position. Third string quarterback. So he will. Yes. So Anthony Richardson began the season as number 2 quarterback. Has been injured. Let's see. It says it remains to be seen what Rivers' immediate role will be. Leonard's status for the Colts' next game in Seattle is still unclear. Team is hoping for clarity on Wednesday. On Monday, Coach Shane Steichen left the door open when asked whether Leonard would play Sunday. That's the hope. We'll see how it goes. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. If Leonard can't play, Rivers might enter the picture. Still remembered fondly at Colts headquarters following his one season with Indy. Rivers will be reunited with his close friend Shane Steichen. I wonder if, since they're close friends, I wonder if it was a matter of like, as soon as he saw it, he was like, well, baby, hey, bring me the Ben Gay and some Ace bandages. I'm back. She was like, thank God. Dadgummit. Because you know you don't cuss. Like, darn it. I got to go help out my pal, my buddy. So I wonder if he texted him. He's like, I got you, fam. I got you. And hey, look, after the way Aaron played this past weekend, maybe there's hope for a 44-year-old, 4+ years removed from retirement and his last game quarterback. Maybe so. Look, Rivers was a gunslinger. He could get it done. So, hey, what up, AJB? Good to see you, Pippin. Let's see. Monday, left the door open. Leonard can't play. Rivers might enter the picture. Man, they remain in regular contact and often discuss football matters on a weekly basis. This says about Steichen and Rivers. Let's see. According to sources, Rivers' workout was impressive. He threw the ball well, but needs to improve his conditioning. Well, no shit. How that impacts his ability to play this week, if necessary, is unclear. Well, look, the dude's been out. He's not going to be in brilliant shape. He's probably still got the arm. But, it just talks about what he did with the Colts in the past and all that. So, excuse me. So Phillip Rivers back. I feel really bad for Daniel Jones, like really, really bad. But, hopefully this gives Colts fans some hope. It gives you a reason to watch every week, if nothing else. So there's that. He coaches his son's high school football team. They might run the same offense. Oh, true that. Yo, what up, Keith? Good to see you, pimp. Your other headline for the day. The Irish will push to keep their current head coach amid requests, I guess, or interests from NFL teams in Marcus Freeman. Freeman is 43-12 since being at Notre Dame. And he's done a good job. They were 10-2 this season. I mean, you think about that. How long has he been there? 7 years? When did he start there? So he already has an extension through 2030. Damn. So, yeah, it's important for a couple of reasons. One, good coaches are difficult to get. And he's still very young. And most importantly, he knows your program. He can recruit. People like playing for him. So you better fight for him, right? It's the devil you know versus the devil you don't. But I didn't realize he was a 5th round draft pick. I thought it was like 7. He played with the Texans in 2009. Did you know that? I didn't know that. He played with the Bears, the Bills, and the Texans in 2009. All three. That's crazy. He has been at Notre Dame since 2021. He was the defensive coordinator / linebackers coach. And then I guess he got elevated to head coach that same season and has been their head coach ever since. He's 38-10 in the regular season, 5-2 in the postseason. Took him to the national championship game last year. This is a guy you don't let walk. And he's, like I said, he's young. He's 39. He's not even 40 yet. This is a good get, the guy you want to keep. So I think Notre Dame is wise to try to do all that they can. And it mentioned in the article, how much does the playoff snub come into play? Does that make Marcus Freeman decide, you know what, I'm coming back because I have something to prove? A lot of people are like that, especially in sports. They relish that challenge. They take things personal and want to prove people wrong. And some people, yours truly included, might be like, yeah, fuck this. I'm not doing this every year. I'm going to the NFL. I'll make a lot more money, be a lot less respected. But it's the pinnacle, baby. None bigger. None bigger. So, yeah, we'll see. But that's a couple of headlines for you. Catch you up on the main goings on. There's some baseball stuff going on. Schwarber went back to the Phillies. The Dodgers re-signed their closer, $69 million deal. They charged a man in the shooting of Chris Boyd. And Tomlin said that Metcalf should not miss the Dolphin game. He had a stomach ailment. Did they ever say what it was? He got off the plane after flying back, or flying to. No, flying back, and wasn't good. Trying to see what it says. He's moving in the right direction. I don't think it jeopardizes blah, blah, blah. After posting season high, Metcalf was removed from the team flight by medical personnel after reporting stomach pains. He went to a local hospital, stayed overnight, and returned to Pittsburgh on Monday. He got hit in the abdomen or stomach in game. I think they gave him some basic over-the-counter remedies in game, like Pepto or something like that. And it got probably progressively worse. So there you go. Nasty Nate is all caught up on his Steelers. Let's see. Barry has what DK Metcalf has. Kinda. I mean, kinda. Man, I had another topic I wanted to add to the rundown, and now I have forgotten. Damn it. I hate you, ADHD. You're welcome, Nate. Boy, we're going to get to it. We're going to talk about your Steelers this week. Can't get rid of him. He won't go away. We're getting to it. No, we'll talk about that later. Let's get into... God dang it, I had something... Oh! I got to write those down. Okay. Because I will forget. All right. Got him. Thank you. Let's talk a little college football. Let's dive into, first of all, we'll just kind of recap what went down during championship week. And then we'll get into the actual playoffs and the goings on for bitch. So let's look at the scores. Come on, bitch. There we go. Week 15 went down like this. North Texas and Tulane. Tulane won that one 34-21. Obviously, we know the results after winning, but you had James Madison beating Troy 31-14. Kennesaw State beat Jacksonville, and Boise State beat UNLV. Those were your Friday games. Oh, God, I got to tell you about that, too. Shit. There we go. And Saturday, you had Indiana, Ohio State, and what should have been, could have been your game of the week. Georgia, Alabama. Georgia whooped Alabama 28-7. IU beat OSU or Ohio State 13-10. And then that BYU Texas game, or BYU Texas Tech game. Oof. Hey, look, Tech beat up on BYU. I mean, look, I'm sorry if I come across as a Red Raiders hater, but none of their wins are impressive. They've done nothing against anyone elite, save for maybe Utah. Everybody's like, well, they beat BYU twice. BYU is BYU. This ain't Steve Young BYU either. It's the Big 12. And big is maybe not the right adjective. You know what I mean? It's marginally sized. 12. Look, the fact is, I have folks in my fam that are Red Raiders alum, and they could not be happier. And I could not be happier for them. Congratulations. It's a huge deal. It really is. For a program that you've rooted for your whole life that has been somewhat inferior, or at least looked at as the little brother in college football circles in this state. Even when you look at, I mean, obviously the two stalwart programs in the state are Texas and Texas A&M. But Baylor and TCU have had runs. Tech had the Patrick Mahomes days, and, there was the Mike Leach era, and they had some success, but they never could put it all together like it appears like they have now. And that's key. Like it appears. Now, again, I say their one loss was to Arizona State. But other than that, I mean, this is their wins. It just, this resume doesn't sound great. Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Kent State, Oregon State, Utah, Houston, Kansas, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, BYU, UCF, West Virginia, and then BYU again for the Big 12 title. And they won all of these convincingly, except for the one they lost. But all of their wins pretty comfortable. So now it's like, okay, well, we're going to find out now that you're in the college football playoffs. CC said, unsubscribe from this crap show. Look, I said I'm happy for you guys. I said I am thrilled for Tech fans, and I am. My stepmom, whom I love to death, is a Tech fan, a graduate. Her sister, whom I go stay with a lot when I'm in Dallas and Fort Worth area, Red Raider graduate. Big alum. They go to all the home games because they live up there in Fort Worth. So I'm happy for them. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for all of the fans that throw tortillas. But I'm just not impressed. I got to keep it a buck. I got to keep it real for the kids, for the children. Can't be out here just saying shit I don't believe. Like, boy, that Red Raiders team is scary. Look at all these people they beat up on. Look at all these schools, huh? Impressive. I mean, honestly, if you don't take BYU seriously, like I don't, but even if you did, BYU beating them twice is good. Their second best win is either Utah or Houston. I mean, honestly, so I'm just, like I said, I'm just trying to keep it real. Where's Utah now? So Utah is 15. Houston is 21. BYU fell to 12. So that's their 3 signature wins, I suppose. They didn't play Arizona this year. Nope. Who else is ranked in the Big 12? Houston is 21st. Arizona's 17. Utah is 15. BYU is 12. And Tech is 4. Okay. Had Tech done this in the Big 10 or the SEC, I think it's a little bit different. The competition is different. But, you got to play who's on your schedule. You don't get to, make excuses for that. So, back to the, where'd it go? Where's my schedule at? Oh, you dirty bitch. Yeah, dirty, dirty scoundrel. There we go. Georgia, Alabama, we'll talk more about that game. Boy, Cece had a rough Saturday, didn't she? The Tide got rolled. But at least the Texas Tech Raiders rated. Duke beat Virginia in overtime. And I did get to see the end of that game. Actually, pretty cool win for Manny Diaz and company. And Duke was poised. I mean, Virginia was poised for a playoff berth. They were the highest ranked conference champ last week. And now they're not. So, sometimes shit happens. Let me see if I can find the rankings here. Let's see. This opens it up for last week. Yeah, there we go. Week 16, week 15. There we go. Yeah, Virginia was 17 last week, but they were the highest ranked ACC champ. Because Miami wasn't the ACC champ. It was Virginia at 10-1. I think they were. But they fucked that up and lost to Duke. And then Western Michigan beat Miami of Ohio in the Who Gives a Fuck Bowl. So there was your scores. Couple of takeaways from that. A lot of teams didn't play and moved up or down. I say a lot. Several teams that didn't play in the conference championships still got to move a little. It doesn't change much outside of if you didn't make the top 10, you probably weren't going to make the playoffs. And that's what and why people are so upset right here. Right here. This is why people are upset. You heard of the group of 5. This group of 3. Alabama, Miami, and Notre Dame. So let's start with what the playoff picture now looks like. Oh man, did I not download the slide? You dumbass. You filthy whore. I would go to the game just to collect the tortillas. Groceries are expensive. Cece said, hello, Jeff Bellhole. All 6 of Cece's teams lost. She doesn't have 6. She has 2. Well, she's probably a Coug fan just because she lives here. I don't know. Cece, do you root for U of H when they're doing good? Leave her alone, Tony. Nobody asked you. You dickhead. Although you know me, I'm Mr. Pick one. Pick a team. But I give Cece a pass. She gets an excused absence, I guess. My Twitch crashed and won't stay open. I'm here now. Thank you, Mark, for finding your way to the YouTubes. Fuck this traffic, Perry said. Uh-oh, where you at, Perry? What up, Flip? What up, Uriel? Could have said Jim McMahon. Hey, I forgot about that. So here, I finally got the graphic downloaded. My bad, people. My bad. Let's look at the bracket, shall we? Yes, we shall. Some bitch. Where'd you go, you dirty bitch? Nope. Okay. Well, I'll just take up and go fuck myself. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. Oh, very good. Very good indeed. All right, here is your playoff picture. Oh my God. There we go. Yes. Okay, good. Here it is. This is what it looks like. This is your 12-team playoff field. Starts December 19th. James Madison is your 12. Well, your 1 through 4 seeds. 1, Indiana 1. Ohio State 2. Georgia 3. And Texas Tech 4. Cece's got a really good shot at cheering for a national title since she roots for 7 of the 12 teams. Just kidding. Oregon is 5. Ole Miss is 6. Are they, though? A&M 7. OU 8. Bama 9. And Miami 10. Tulane 11. And James Madison 12. So, notably missing from this is Notre Dame. The Irish did not get a spot. And in fact, we just talked about it. But they were one of those teams that moved down while simultaneously not playing at all. Both Notre Dame and BYU fell 2 spots. Or I guess you could say in a better way, were leapfrogged by Miami. And Miami vaulted into the number 2 spot. Virginia fell 2 spots after losing. And then again, yeah. James Madison moved up a spot from 25 to 24. North Texas fell a spot after losing to Tulane, who sits at number 20. So in the playoff field, if you look at it strictly from a rankings perspective, in the playoff field is the top 10 teams in the country plus number 20 and number 24. And I really believe 24 is ranked just because it makes them look better. Imagine not having a ranked team in the playoffs. Imagine having, a group of 5 unranked team. Wouldn't be good. So that's why I think you see them at 24. And they were 25 last week, barely. In the AP poll, others receiving votes, and this was, the AP poll was a little bit different, really, than the college football playoffs. Indiana was 1 in the AP poll. Georgia 2, Ohio State 3, Tech 4, Oregon 5, Ole Miss, A&M, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, and then Miami. Bama fell a spot to 11. Miami had moved up 2 spots, and BYU fell also. And then, and the difference there, they both had BYU 12. Bama was 9 in the playoff rankings. 3 losses, yet they were 9. Miami was 10 in both. Notre Dame was 11 in the college football playoffs, but 9th in the AP poll. And then, the rest of it, whatever. But James Madison was 19 in the AP poll, 24 in the playoff rankings. Tulane was 17 in the AP poll, 20 in the college football playoff rankings. So let's just start with who's in. Let's just start with that. And let's just talk about what they got right. I think that, it varies, right? Like sometimes people, oh, that's funny. Tulane versus No Lane is fucking hilarious, Walt. Jesus, that's funny. I think too often when you see 2 ranked teams play that are maybe like 1 and 2 or 1 and 3 or, number 2 and number 4 play. And if number 2 loses, they fall significantly. And this was a number 1 versus number 2. And quite frankly, I think everybody thought Ohio State was the best team in the country. Their signature win was Texas, which we now know ain't that good. Texas ain't that good. They had a win over Illinois, who was 17 at the time. Not anymore. And their win over Michigan, who was 15 at the time. So that's a good point. Well, I need to check that. Illinois finished 8-4. And if that was your, Texas has 3 losses, Illinois has 4 losses. And how many does Michigan have? Michigan is now 9-3. So your signature wins are against a 4-loss team, a 3-loss team, and a 3-loss team. And you, again, got to play who's on the schedule. I get it. But I don't think that Ohio State was really tested like we thought they would be. Right? I mean, Penn State was supposed to be better, and so on and so forth. But you could say the same for Indiana, who they had signature wins against the same Illinois team, but they beat Oregon at least before they got to the Big Ten championship game. So the Oregon win was big. It was kind of like, hey, we're here. This is us. And to me, it legitimized them in my eyes with that win. That's when I was like, okay, they're for real. But now this win against Ohio State, it's like, oh yeah, that's 2 wins versus a 1 and a 3. Indiana is damn good. But you can go, it's just the same thing. If you look at Tech, if you look at, a lot of these teams, there's a lot of them don't have these beefy, sexy resumes, right? Everybody in the top 7 is a one-loss team except Indiana, who's undefeated, right? And so we already looked at Tech as a one-loss team and tried to figure out what's their signature wins. Well, it doesn't matter because they're the Big 12 champ and they're ranked 4. But you look at Oregon, Ole Miss, A&M. You can look at all these teams, right? Georgia's signature win was Ole Miss at the time because they had lost to Alabama. They had beaten Tennessee, but okay. They beat Ole Miss when they were 5. They beat a Texas team who was ranked 10 at the time. Georgia Tech was ranked 23. And then they beat Alabama when it counted in the SEC championship game. Tennessee took them to the brink 44-41, and that's when everybody was like, uh-oh, this Georgia team may not be that good. They got pushed by Tennessee, lost to Bama, and it was like, uh-oh. But then they got right by Ole Miss, and now the rest is history. They moved into number 1 and never looked back. Oh, I'm sorry, not number 1. They moved back into the top 5. So I guess signature win is Ole Miss and Bama. 2 top 10 teams at the time. 2 playoff teams. Oregon doesn't really have a signature win at all. They beat Penn State, who is now bleh. They lost to Indiana. That would have been a signature win for them. And they've beaten Iowa and USC that were ranked at the time. So Oregon really doesn't have a signature sexy win. Ole Miss. At the time LSU was 4, we now know what and who LSU is. They lost to Georgia. They beat OU, so they have 1 playoff team win. So I think if we're looking at resumes, at least for those 3, Georgia, Oregon, and Ole Miss, I'd probably put it as Georgia first, Ole Miss second, Oregon third so far. Texas A&M, they beat Notre Dame, who's not a playoff team now. They beat a ranked LSU team who's Missouri, and then lost to Texas. So A&M really doesn't have a signature win. At the time, it was Notre Dame, but that's just meh, right? We can keep going. Texas Tech, we already talked about their quote-unquote signature win, which was, BYU twice? So I think I'll keep it ranked like that. Indiana, they have a signature win now. And I guess Oregon was a signature win for them. So they've beaten essentially number 2 and number 5. That'll do it. Whereas Georgia has beaten 8 and 9. Okay. And then Ole Miss, playoff teams, OU. Yeah. Oregon, no wins against playoff teams. A&M, no wins against playoff teams. Texas Tech, no wins against playoff teams. Ohio State. You thought Texas was a signature win. That was good, but now we know who they are. Illinois ain't shit. The win over Michigan, and then IU. So I would probably put them as far as wins, like signature wins, behind Ole Miss. Yeah, I mean, let's see. They beat Oregon. They're very close. So we got A&M, Tech, and then Michigan doesn't really matter. They're not in the playoff hunt, the picture or whatever. But those are your one-loss teams, right? I think Georgia has the second best resume. Ole Miss, third. Ohio State, 4. Oregon, 5. A&M, 6. Tech, 7. That's just me. It's just my opinion when you look at who they played and what we know those teams are now. Because what happens is sometimes you get ranked and you just hold the ranking if you hold the line, as long as you don't lose. Unless somebody has a spectacular win and leapfrogs you. But even then, you don't fall that far. So, Walton, I picked a great year to be a Hoosier. Yeah, yes, indeed. Total Down says, look at Texas versus ranked teams. Yeah, but the problem is, Total Dallas, they're a 3-loss team. They lost to Ohio State. They beat OU. They beat Vandy. Lost to Georgia. Beat A&M. It's a good resume, but you also lost to Florida, and you lost to Ohio State and Georgia. I mean, yeah. I don't think that 3-loss team deserves to be in. I just don't. But quite honestly, I don't think Bama deserves to be in as a 3-loss team. And we can look at their wins and schedule. They lost to Florida State. They beat Georgia once. Good win. Beat Vandy. Beat Missouri. Beat Tennessee. Those teams were ranked at the time. They're not now. They beat Oklahoma and then lost to Georgia again. I'm sorry, lost to Oklahoma. Not beat. Lost to Oklahoma and then lost to Georgia. I shouldn't say again. So now we see that they play Oklahoma. Well, we've already seen this. We saw that November 15. Does that not matter at all? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Now you've got OU just ahead of Bama, but that really doesn't matter because it's not like, I mean, let me before I speak out of turn here. Okay, it is played in Norman. Okay. Yeah, so it's not technically the bowl games yet. Got it. That matters. That matters. And I think that's probably why you saw the committee make OU 8 and Bama 9. OU beat them head to head. They deserve to have at least home field advantage in this game. I don't know that I would have Oklahoma or Bama as a 3-loss team in the top 10. But there's more to this. Because, look, let's just come out and say it. I get it. I know why you have Tulane and James Madison in the playoffs. I get it. But is the point to make everybody happy, or is the point to get the 12 best teams? And I was one that proposed, hey, look, you got 5 conferences. Now, this was back when the Pac-12 was a real conference. You got 5 conferences, right? You could give everybody one, but then you give the 2 remaining spots to like your group of 5 or an at-large bid. And I think that the one thing they didn't count on was how that would play out in a way. It's just, one, I don't know how the American and the Sun Belt, even though they're conference champs, deserve to be in over teams like Notre Dame, Texas, Vanderbilt. Those are so if you compare Tulane as a 2-loss team and James Madison as a 1-loss team, you talk about resumes. I mean, Tulane, they lost to UTSA and Ole Miss. They have no signature wins other than beating North Texas in their championship game. It just doesn't make sense to me. James Madison's the same way. James Madison lost to Louisville and is beating nobody in the country. Nobody. But here they are. So it's like, well, that's nice. That's cool. But do we really think that both James Madison and Tulane are better than, say, Notre Dame and Texas if they all played each other? What do you think that outcome is? I think that outcome is Notre Dame goes 2-0, playing those Tulane and James Madison, and Texas goes 2-0. I think it's probably true with BYU. I think even Vanderbilt and Utah probably beat those teams. So I think, one, you have to reassess how you do this. Because to me, putting in a James Madison or a Tulane is a lot like an 8-8 or 7-9 or now 7-10 or 8-9 NFL conference champ making the playoffs. Why? There are teams sitting at home that didn't make a wild card that have 10 wins. And this team has 7. This is not one of the better teams in the NFL. These are not two of the better teams in college football. The problem becomes, well, who do you say is better, because it's all after 1 through 4 based off of, some opinion. They have their own ways of looking at things, I suppose. But I just think you can't really expect your playoffs to be taken seriously. And I know the committee's like, well, them's the rules. We wouldn't have chose those two. Of course they wouldn't have. But they need to change the rules. This is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. As far as Notre Dame on the outside looking in versus Alabama and Miami. Oh, let me get to your thoughts real quick. Let's see. Old Notre Dame, the A&M of the North. Pick a conference. Yes. Tulane versus No Lane so far is the leader in the clubhouse for chat of the week. Walt also said, rest in peace to Danny Dimes' leg and my Colts division champs prediction. Yeah, it can change on a dime. You see what I did there? Huh? Okay. Excuse me. So, let's see. Let me catch up. So, Bama gets embarrassed by Florida State, beat by OU, and then got railed by Georgia, and they still get a CFP nod? Sure. Heartthrob said. Yeah, again, I'm not 100% sold on Bama being in as a 3-loss team. Amos said, I think if Tulane and James Madison's coaches weren't leaving, they'd be ranked higher. I don't think so. Would it be high enough to change your opinion on whether they belong to the playoffs or not? Probably not. I know it wouldn't change mine. I pay. Let's see. I can't sign off on them. Georgia diddied their ass, and yet here we are. But the CFP is pretty much designed to piss everybody off somehow. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. So Barry, has Indiana survived your war on I schools? Yes, they've rewritten the rule books of teams that start with the letter I. I said at the beginning of the season, every college football team that starts with the letter I is going to suck this year. And I was right about all but one. Everybody had high hopes for Iowa State, even Iowa, Illinois, Indiana. I don't know why I'm saying it like this. We have the best schools with an I. And all of them kind of did eat a dick except one. So yes, if there's one, they're either the exception or you have to throw the rule out. Mark said, does JMU deserve to be in? The answer is fuck no. Total Al said, that's why I like automatic qualifiers. This good wins versus bad losses BS is dumb. Yeah, but outside of a conference championship, and I saw your post, Total Dallas, and there's some pretty decent logic behind it. But again, you don't need a conference championship then if that's the case. Just make, because if you didn't see, I think it was Total Dallas, I think it was you, that said, hey, how about you have the big five conferences, and both teams in that championship make the playoffs. And then you just have two at-large bids, maybe one at-large bid and one, group of five bid or whatever. And again, one at-large bid, what does that do? I think you can somehow incorporate the conference championships. But just like in the NFL, you have division winners and then you have wild cards. Now, what's wild to me is that whoever loses the conference championship can still make the playoffs. And in the case of Ohio State, you look, they're still a top 4 team. They're going to get a first round bye. And they didn't even win their conference, but they're getting a first round bye. But again, are they better than the rest of the field and deserve it? It's tough. It's all tough. I don't think there's any one concrete right answer. I will say this about Notre Dame specifically. And this is just for all of the Notre Dame fans out there. First, I hope that they retain Freeman. Marcus Freeman is a damn good football coach. Chris wants to be a VIP, baby. I got you, pimp. I got you. Just remind me and I will do it here after I finish my thoughts on Notre Dame. But I just want to say to all of the fans of Notre Dame, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. If you don't like it, get in a fucking conference. Go join a conference. What are you scared of? Well, we were hoodwinked. We was bamboozled. No, you weren't. No, the fuck you weren't. What did you, why did you deserve to be in as an independent? You didn't even have to go through the rigors of a conference championship. And I mean, not even like a weak conference championship. The ACC or some shit. Not even saying Big Ten or SEC. Which, if they're going to be in anyone, it should be the Big Ten, not the ACC. That's fucking stupid. Just get the two conferences and be done with it. But still, shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear you cry Irish tears. Nobody, except you and your fan base. But I don't give a fuck that Notre Dame is not in. They don't deserve to be in. If I recall correctly, the two teams in front of them beat them. At least I know Bama played in a conference championship and Miami beat them head to head. The fuck are you crying about? What are you crying about? Now, when we talk about signature wins at 10-2, there is something to be said for should Notre Dame be in over Bama, excuse me, because they only lost 2 games and Bama's lost 3. True that. Now you lost to Miami, you lost to A&M to start the season, and you ran the table since then. Now, the 2 teams that you beat that were ranked was USC and Pittsburgh. Whoop-de-fuck, first of all. So Notre Dame does not have a signature win on their schedule whatsoever. They don't. If USC is your signature win, stay out of the playoffs and shut the fuck up. Seriously. And the problem is, it's because they're not in a conference. So they didn't get a chance to play in a conference game and get a marquee / signature win. That's your own fault. Well, we want to be independent. Well, you can be independent and stay home and watch. There's the independent door. Don't let it hit you in your independent ass. Like, I just don't give a fuck about these green Irish tears that everybody's crying. Fuck them. If you don't like it, get in a conference, play in a conference championship game, win or lose it, and then have a beef. But you don't, if you play, you don't even have to play a conference championship game to win or lose that. And you don't have any signature wins. Had they beat Miami or beaten A&M, and those 2 teams are still playoff teams, okay, let's talk about them being in over Bama. But at least Bama had to play in a conference championship game, played in a conference championship game, got the doors blown off, but it don't matter. They beat that team earlier in the season too. Just like if A&M and Notre Dame would have played again in the playoffs, Notre Dame probably would have beat A&M. So, what does that mean? If you don't have to run the full gauntlet like these other teams ahead of you, shut the fuck up. You got no beef over Miami because Miami beat you. Your beef is with Bama. And the only reason Bama has 3 losses and you have 2, anybody? Because they played a conference championship game. Yeah. If they got to stay home this past weekend and sit there and watch things unfold, Alabama would be a 2-loss team. Just like Notre Dame. But at least Alabama would have signature wins. At least one for sure we know of. That would have been Georgia. I mean, they also beat Vandy, Mizzou, and Tennessee, but... And then you can talk about, well, that's an ugly loss against Florida State. Totally agree. That's a great win against the number 3 team in the country, which is more than Notre Dame can say. So you can't say, well, Notre Dame has 2 losses, Bama has 3, Notre Dame should be in. The only reason Bama has 3 is they played a conference championship game. So shut the fuck up. Join a conference, nut up, be a part of the NCAA college football landscape like everybody else is that matters. But if you don't want to do that, then shut the fuck up when this happens. Honestly. That's what it comes down to for me. Now, had Notre Dame beaten Miami, beaten Alabama, both, okay. You got a legit beef. But they don't. They don't. And you can talk to me all you want about, well, they were ranked higher these other days. Yeah. And the fact of the matter is, Bama had to play a conference championship game. And they did. And that's the only reason they have 3 losses. And have a signature win. And Miami beat you. So you really, that's why you got leapfrogged by both teams. Period. So I don't feel sorry for Notre Dame. I just don't. Barry said gold helmet privilege on peak this season. Yeah. Hey, what up, 75? Corey Jester, good to see you, man. He said Notre Dame sucks. Crap, where's the grammar, please? Fuck you, Notre Dame. Notre Dame is the kid that took their ball and went home because they didn't get picked on the park. 1,000%. Why are they Irish when Notre Dame is in France? Yeah, Catholics. That's why. The Irish have a clause for next year. If they're ranked 12, they're in. I know. It's ridiculous. Cortez said, look at Notre Dame's schedule in 2026. Let's see. Notre Dame's schedule 2026. Their schedule for 2026. Boy, oh boy. Well, get ready because they will be ranked number 12. No doubt about that. Where is it? Put this up for you. This is their schedule for 2026, next season. They open with Wisconsin. And then they have Rice, Michigan State, Purdue, North Carolina, Navy, Miami, Boston College, SMU, Syracuse, Stanford, and USC. They might be lucky to get, if just assume they win every game. They'll be lucky if Miami counts as a signature win. The rest of those will not. USC, maybe. The rest of those are not going to matter. And then you'll have an undefeated Notre Dame with no conference championship to play in, bitching and moaning. How come we don't get a first round bye? Because you didn't fucking beat nobody. Future Notre Dame idiots. Fuck Rudy. Okay. Notre Dame wants to speak to the manager. Yeah. Duke won the ACC championship. I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why Virginia and Duke are not there, because the ACC is trash. You imagine Notre Dame and Virginia, and that's come on. Notre Dame just needs to join the Big Ten and shut the fuck up. That's it. But they'll take an easy route, a passive route, and be like, hey, we're going to join the American. Actually, you know what? We're going to join the Pac-2. Conference champs, baby. Let's shut the fuck up. At this point, if I'm a P5 team, I wouldn't schedule with Notre Dame until they get into a conference. It only helps their strength of schedule. Yeah, that's a good point. But Miami is in. They had to be represented. Yeah. Yeah. And Miami was the better team. It's weird. Miami was the best team in that conference. Miami fans were crying like Notre Dame before the final rankings even came out because they thought Notre Dame was going to get in even though they beat them. Didn't you, Amos? Didn't you think that? I mean, I did. Especially when you know that the way these things get mapped out. Now, not the selection committee, but setting it up, putting a plan in place, putting the structure in. Every other conference is represented by a conference head, a person. And then there's Notre Dame. They get a seat at the table. They get 1/6 or 1/12 of the representation. For what? They're one school. Who are they representing? Their own interest. That's it. That makes no fucking sense. When this whole 12-team playoff thing was put together, Notre Dame had a say in it. Do you know why I'm sure they voted for it? Because they knew what we're in. There's no way they'd put a James Madison in above us. That's fucking what? What? Oh, this is stupid. Who voted for this shit? You did, dumbass. You did. You go fucking fight yourself. It's just crazy to me that Notre Dame gets a seat at the decision-making table while everybody else is representing a conference. What? God, I just can't say it enough. If you're a Notre Dame fan or alumni and you're crying, shut the fuck up. Get your team into a conference. And until you do, shut the fuck up. I can't say it enough. I just want to, that should be the rest of the show, me saying that. Amos said, I thought in-season head-to-head matchups mattered. They do. They do. Miami beat Notre Dame. That's why they're in and Notre Dame isn't. They do matter. OU beat Bama. That's why OU is 8 and has a home game in the first round, and Bama doesn't. The committee was like, look, we're going to put emphasis on when two teams get on the field and play each other and come to an outcome. One gets a W, one gets an L. There's a victor, there's a loser, and we will judge those two head-to-head based on that, if it comes down to it. What the fuck else are you playing the games for if head-to-head matchups don't matter? Just fucking print everybody's roster out. Oh, they look good on paper. They look good on paper. Fuck, Texas would be the national champs. What's up? Shut the fuck up, B-Mac. Is he talking right now? Told it, Alice. Sometimes when you win, you actually die. That's not the saying, although I probably say it like that. Told Dallas that Notre Dame still trying to win one for the Gipper. Yeah, get with the times. ACC needs them. ACC needs more than just them. There's just so many teams in college football. You need them to exist. This is going to sound really shitty. Now, Notre Dame is not one of these teams, but this goes deeper into the current conference structure. You can't put the Big 12 on par with the Big 10 and the SEC. It's not fair to the teams in the Big 12, Big 10 and the SEC, where for the most part, those teams have it tougher. They're playing each other, right? But there are a lot of teams in college football, and this is really going to piss some people off, and that's okay. There's just a lot of teams in college football that don't matter. They're just white noise. They're just there to fill out a schedule. Honestly. Even when they have okay seasons, it don't fucking matter. All of these teams, every once in a while, have a good run. Have a decent season. But it's not enough. They're not blue chip caliber. They're not, you know what I mean? And all of these blue chippers are going to have down years or down runs. But to sit here and pretend like U of H is the same as Alabama is silly. It's silly. And the one saving grace in all of this, because the argument, if I were arguing with myself, then I would say, well, like Donna said, what about Vandy? But more importantly, what about Indiana? Indiana ain't never done shit. Now look at them. So the one saving grace in a lot of these teams being white noise and minutia is NIL. It's changed things a bit. It's somewhat leveled the playing field, which is great. But it's also why you need to be in a fucking conference. And they need to compact these conferences so that teams like Texas Tech, that is, or even the Baylors of the world, Oklahoma State, are having to play the same tier of competition that Vanderbilt has to play, that Indiana has to play. Because a lot of people tell you, like, oh, Tech this year's Indiana last year, although Indiana, I think, was 10 in the playoffs or whatever. But Indiana at least played a Big Ten schedule last year. So I just, look, until they just lock it up and make it run like the NFL, we're going to always have these conversations. And they love it. Don't get me wrong. They absolutely fucking love it. They love that you and me and every talking head in America will spend all week and really leading up to the playoffs talking about college football. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, broken, not broken. There's no such thing as bad publicity, baby. Everybody's going to watch these games just to see, well, Notre Dame would have beat them. James Madison got beat by 38. You don't think Notre Dame would have done better in that game? Of course they would have. Of course. Of course Notre Dame is going to do better than Tulane. Fucking of course. But this goes back to what I talked about and have preached and harped on for several years now. They need to fix this whole thing. You just need to realign everything and make it look like the NFL. Joe Pro uses blue and gray. I said north and south, but that makes you sound like the Civil War. Okay. You could call, because, you'd have the Southeast Conference, the Big Ten, which is the North mostly. So let's just call it the blue and the gray. Well, that's still the North and South, I guess. You could come up with a creative name, right? You don't even need American and National. You could call it hell, I don't know. It doesn't matter. But set up two conferences, not these current conferences, with multiple divisions. And it doesn't even have to be like 4 divisions with 4 teams in it like the NFL. It could be more. The carpetbaggers and oil tycoons. That's hilarious. Surf and turf. I like that too. 75 Court Jester said U of H would beat James Madison. 100%. 100% I believe that. It's an Aggie 39 championship. Yeah. B. Hansen, remember when Cincinnati made the 14 playoff? Yep. And I remember some of the playoff matchups from last year, too. Outside of Arizona, SMU didn't do anybody any favors. Also, Indiana has been worst team in NCAA football for 150 years. 2 years into legally paying players, they're number 1. It's like they weren't playing illegally. Right? But I will say this one more time. Hopefully, maybe I'll make this a clip finally. But I've at least been saying since 23. Maybe earlier. I don't remember the first time I presented it. But this needs to be 2 conferences. And we'll just for now call them the Big Ten and the SEC. And you absorb the upper echelon teams in the Big 12. You absorb the ACC. Miss me with that American shit, the Sun Belt. Fuck all that. That's ridiculous. Oh, well, those teams make the top 25? Yeah, at 25. Who gives a fuck? That's not even in consideration for the playoffs. That's like right now being like, well, we got to redo the playoffs because the Tennessee Titans, I'm like, oh, they're trash right now. I get it. It's all cyclical. I get it. But you can't have 2 conferences with 1,000 fucking teams in it. Some of these teams don't matter. I can't believe you said that. I said it. Why the fuck is Rice considered similar to, I don't know, fucking Baylor even? Or Auburn. But that's essentially what we're saying. They're not. Rice and Auburn are 2 different kinds of programs. Rice plays football. Auburn has a shot. Given the year and recruiting and coaching and everything else. I think you just have to take a good long look in the mirror and say, what are programs that realistically, with enough NIL money or recruiting or luck, can realistically compete with all of the other teams in the Big 2, these 2 conferences? And I'll take this, I'll remap what I said. 2 conferences, Big 10 and the SEC, absorb the ACC, absorb the Big 12. If you want to absorb the Pac-2, I don't give a fuck, whatever. Are there a couple of other teams that might need to be put in? Notre Dame? Yeah. Separate those 2 conferences into divisions. Okay? West, East, North, South, Southwest, Southeast. If you want to use some of these other conference names, however the fuck you want to do it. The SEC North, the SEC West. Don't give a shit. Take these 35 or 40 teams, or 30 teams in each conference. I don't care. But we no longer need this. Because this, what we're doing here, this is broken. We don't need this anymore. This is broken. So what you have to do, 2 conferences. That's it. 2 conferences. Everybody is in one of these 2 conferences that's eligible to win a natty. Those conferences are divided into divisions. Division winners make the conference playoff thing. Ultimately, you get down to 2 conference champions who play each other for the national title. So you can do it NFL style where, okay, all the division winners get a spot in the playoffs, and then you have wild cards. You could still you just replace conference championships with division championships now. So you could have the 2 best teams in each division play each other. And then seed the conference championships based on the winners. So if you want 6 divisions or 4 divisions, I don't give a fuck. And then from there, they play each other in the conference playoffs to get to a conference champ. And then the Big Ten champ and the SEC champ, who have been basically whittled down to the 2 best teams, play each other for the national title. And then I think, and this is part of what I said, you have to add relegation to this because sometimes teams suck for a long while, especially teams closer to the bottom. The U of H's of the world, the Vandys of the world. But sometimes these teams figure shit out. They have great recruiting classes, and you can move them in when they're hot and move them out when they're not. Soccer does it all the time. If you don't want to be relegated, don't finish last in your division. Don't finish last in the conference. The bottom two teams in each conference, get the fuck out. You're gone. You're done. Fuck you, Hunter. You're done. And then the four teams that were the best in bring back Division 2 for all I give a fuck. Call it that. I don't care. But let's say U of H won the non-NCAA playoffs. Well, guess what? They get to move up. It's real simple to me. This is not that goddamn difficult. You can still have bowl games. The bowl games are your divisional championship games. You still have a natty title.
We're not ready for a good show B yet.
Good Lord, are we there already? Holy shit. That's crazy. All right, I need to do a couple things. I need to make Chris from Sam Houston a VIP, baby. Let's see, where do I do that? Let's see. Oh, there we go. Community. Copy. Roles manager. Chris, you're already a VIP, bro. Chris, you're already a VIP, pimp. You got the pink diamond. I got to get you your points back. I'm going to put that on my to-do list now. Chris VIP points. Got you. He's like, I am? Dang. Yeah, like you can post links in the chat if you're a VIP. You can, yeah. There are certain things you get. Alex said rice 'em. That sounds racist. Nah, no worries. Let's see. Not passing, just saying go start the business without wasting the money at Rice. Okay. You know how much rice costs. Yeah. Yeah. Did somebody time out Flip, by the way? Did we get that? Let's see. Where's my chat? Oh shit. Where's Flip? I don't see Flipster. Damn, I don't see him in here. Well, I'll just need a mod to time him out. I don't see it, Barry. You don't see what? Yeah, I just need somebody to time out Flip. Just find him and time him out. Here we go. Users in chat. There we go. I found him. Boom. There we go. Time out. All right. Flip has been timed out. Oh, no. It wasn't a comment. It was a preemptive strike from Heartthrob. He was just getting out ahead of it. Just so he timed him out so that Flip can't come in and be like, good show, B, and remind me to get the fuck off the air. So he's been timed out now. I like, though, that by doing that, Heartthrob made me realize, fuck, it's 5 o'clock. It was very counterproductive for you, Heartthrob. Because I was going to keep going. I was just going to keep rolling. And now it's over. Tomorrow, we'll pick this back up. Because I still need to talk about these bowl games. Because there is so much trash-ass information and clickbait and bullshit and everything else going around about these bowl games. And we need to stop that. All right. Hardtop said, yeah, you can still keep rolling. Well, not if I know it's 5. I'm going to go have dinner with my wife. So we'll talk about bowl games. We'll get into week 14. We got to talk about all of the goings on in the NFL. But this bowl game stuff consumed most of our discussion today. And I'm good with that. And I still have a plethora of non-story things to discuss, including a video. I need to talk about my beloved Chiefs. Shut up, Joe Pro. We don't need to bring that up. That was radio stuff. We don't let the bits carry over. Oh, that's hilarious. So let's see. We need a Whataburger bowl. That was not a bad idea. Whataburger bowl would be legit. It'd be legit. All right. Tomorrow, we'll discuss bowl games and the lies being spread about them. I also want to discuss my wife, Moab. She bought me a machine. What a big stout. Fuck Notre Dame. That's what they get. Yep. 100% agree. Go back and watch the replay. I could not agree more. But my wife bought me this machine and I fucking hate it. I'll just put it that way. We'll discuss about it tomorrow. Also, this past weekend, I have a road story for you. Yeah, I have a road story for you. It's not like, oh my God, amazing, but it'll work. I hadn't had one in a while. And because sometimes shit just don't happen. I don't come on here and make shit up. When I come on here and tell you stories from the road, they really happened. That's why sometimes I don't have any road stories. Also, I want to talk about 2 documentaries that I've watched. On Netflix, I watched the Diddy documentary, The Reckoning. I also watched the documentary about Eddie Murphy. I have thoughts on both. I want to talk about both. 75 said machine. Scared me, Barry. Yeah, well, she bought me a machine, and I hate it. I hate it. Even though Chicago owns it now. Owns what now? Oh, Whataburger? Yeah. Yeah, it'll always be a Texas thing. You know what I mean? It was always started here. It's going to always be Texas. Always. So, that's what we'll get into tomorrow. Road stories, documentaries I've watched, this machine that my wife bought me that I hate, and college football bowl games, NFL week 14. Sounds like a fun day. Everybody's trying to guess the machine. CPAP machine? I'm not telling you. You'll have to tune in tomorrow to find out. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a professional tease. All right? Still got it. Ah, boy. My wife. All right. We up out at ya. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you, buddy. Alex said, Total Dallas has a machine, but it's for other stuff. Yeah, butt stuff. What's that machine that you see in the porn where it just rams the shit out of this woman with a dildo? What is that thing called? The Cooch Annihilator? I don't know what that thing is called. There's a machine. It's a name for it. And I don't know what it is. Hey, love you, Uriel. Joe Pro said I left him with blue ears. Nice. Peace, Perry. Bye, Jen. Later, Walt. No, the machine is not called Total Dildo. Damn it, Tony. You start the show being an asshole. You end the show being an asshole. And that's what I love about you. All right. I'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll have some more fun and get serious and not serious all at the same time, as we do just about every day on this show. All right. In the meantime, I need you guys to do me 3 favors. Be safe. Be kind. And most importantly, looking at you, Tony, love each other. I will see you guys tomorrow. We need to talk Rockets too. Yeah, we gotta talk a little NBA. I mean, we don't need to talk about OKC. Just kidding. We definitely do. Yeah, we'll get some NBA talk in, even though it's not Christmas yet. All right, maybe we'll do that too if we have time. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Let's see if we can find somebody to raid. Let's just see if we have a raid in us. Let's see if I can find a sports channel before the music stops. Here's sports 670. Oh, betting news is on. We could raid them. Free Tuesday, Big Cheese is playing a game. I don't know who that is. That's all video games. Y'all want to raid betting news? Man, there's just nothing. Oh my God. Oh, there we go. Similar, same category. BetMG Network. Yeah, well, fuck it. Didn't find one. Bye, everybody. Love you. And he's making a YouTube video.